Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from Sound Mind. If you are new here, welcome. Consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. If you're not new, then you probably know that I have another channel. She speaks to all things Liberia. So if you've ever been interested in Liberian culture, please consider watching that channel, and I will put the link in the description box. Today we're going to be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 2. So the show starts off with Wendy's disastrous dinner from where we left off from the last episode. It was a monstrosity of a dinner. So I think that Gizelle is always used to being able to poke and jab at the other ladies, having the slickest mouth, being able to throw the biggest shade. And I don't think she or anyone was prepared for Karen. Karen came real nasty, real funky, real dirty. And I don't think Gizelle was ready for that. I think that she thought that she was going to be cute and be like, let's talk about your drunkenness, your brokenness, your this, and, you know, have everyone laughing at Karen. And she was not prepared. Now, some of Karen's reads did not make sense. Sing Sing, Hot Box, Broken Whore from Hampton University, but it was shocking nonetheless. So I'm going to give her 2 points, and I'll give Gizelle 1. Now let's talk about Mia. Now to me, it is obvious that Mia is not 36, number one. Number two, she has been watching the show. And I think that she knows that Gizelle and Robin are the it girls or the mean girls. And I think she wants to be a part of that clique. In the middle of Karen and Gizelle going at it, she had to interject. She said, Karen, I love you and I respect you, but I can tell that she has a good heart. Really? You can tell that she has a good heart. She was talking about Ray's private parts not working and all of that. You can tell she has a good heart. Okay. Then Robin tries to jump in and defend her fearless leader. And then Wendy was like, no, let's let this be between Karen and Gizelle. However, Karen had one for Robin too. She said, well, when are you getting married? And you could tell Robin was kind of like flustered after the pandemic. And Karen was like, well, she's having a real wedding with a real relationship. I said, no, Karen? Is that you? Karen was throwing shade. So I don't know if she was circling back to Gizelle and saying her relationship was fake, or if now she was implying that Juan and Robin's relationship was fake. Whatever it was, I'm here for Karen this season. I am here for Karen. So I wish that Karen would be honest. This is what I don't like about Karen. She never tells you what bothers her, or she never answers. She talks in circles, so you never get the truth. Kind of like when she was telling Candace one thing when Candace got into altercation with Monique, and then telling Monique another thing. She's very wishy-washy. You never get a true answer. She tells Gizelle their relationship went south when Ray gave Gizelle advice about getting a man before her looks faded, and then Gizelle in her confessional said that he would be 6 feet under before her looks faded, and Karen said that you wish death on Ray, and it deeply hurt my children. They were very young, and I don't think that's when the relationship went south. I just wish she would be more upfront about what happened. I mean, that was one of the many shade that Gizelle threw all year long or years long. And so I don't think that was the real reason the relationship went south. So I just wish she would be honest about those answers. And then I do want to say, I thought Ray's advice to Gizelle was horrible. It was very sexist. He told her to basically get a man before you don't look good anymore and nobody will want you. Even without looks, Gizelle is pretty. Even without that, there's something more. There's what's in your heart. So I just thought that was sexist. You're a pretty girl now. Hurry up and get a man before you're not pretty anymore. So then Wendy finally admits that she got her butt done, and Mia's like, well, it's because I gave her courage. I told them everything that I got done. So anyway, she finally admits she got her butt done. Her butt does look nice. Like I said in my last video, I think the boobies are a little bit too big for her frame. Maybe they will drop and look more natural, but they definitely look good under clothes. I'm not saying they look bad, but the butt looks good too. So they show us Mia and her family. Not much to talk about there, but you can already see where they're trying to have conflict in the show so she can have a storyline. She's a boss and her husband stays home and takes care of the kids, a role that it has now been reversed. So I bet you in their marriage there's going to be conflict about Wendy doing too many things outside of the home, whether real or imagined. That's going to be a storyline. I bet you that's what they're going to go with. Then we have Candace doing her acting gig. Her husband is her manager, and when she's acting, her frame, her color just puts me in the mind of Kerry Washington. So I hope that Candace excels and makes it big just like Kerry Washington. She just puts me in the mind of Kerry Washington. Then we have Ashley, her mom comes over and they talk about sex, how she has to satisfy Michael. Ew. And that's all they talk about. Nothing much there. So Robin visits Giselle's house of horrors, not whores, horrors. And so she visits Giselle's house. Giselle has a west wing where her bedroom is, her closets are, and I have to say it looks fairly decent for Giselle's standards. So it looks really good. But even Robin had to say the west wing, the outside of the house is very tacky because the west wing looks like they just attached two houses together. There's no fusion that makes it work, but the inside looks fairly decent. Bedroom, closets, everything. It looks nice for Giselle's standard, yes. Start talking about Giselle and Pastor Jamal. And Giselle is saying, you know, with the pandemic, he's so far away. Then they cut to a scene where they had fist bumped each other. There was no emotional attraction, no physical attraction. They were not a couple. And I feel like the pandemic is a good way for Giselle to gracefully exit the relationship publicly, so it looks like, oh, we just didn't make it after the pandemic. So she actually is using the pandemic in her favor. So I guess if you have to do that, you have to do that. So she's going to make it seem like, you know, we were because of the pandemic, we stayed apart for so long, we just grew apart. Okay, if that's what you want to say, okay. Giselle also says, knowing that Karen is upset about the other statement about Ray being 6 feet under, Giselle also says that Ray and Karen owe so much back taxes that Ray will die before they own a home. Giselle. Now, so they cut to Karen and Ray. They're making up their bed. And she's planning a love party. Karen is sitting down with Ray, and I feel like this is her way of cleaning up her nasty reads with Giselle. She tells Ray that, you know, after the dinner, her and Giselle got into it. And when they got into it, she said some things that she's not proud of. And Ray was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So she's not proud of her behavior, but she also knows, now this is her being self-righteous, that Giselle is hurt. And what do you do with people like that? Do you throw them away or do you just love them more? And I said, look at Karen trying to act like a saint. After she's been, you know, she went down and dirty. Now she's like, Giselle is just a hurt person, so I just need to care for her. So anyway, Karen is throwing a love party. She's inviting everyone. She's inviting Giselle. She's inviting Candace. She's inviting everyone. Okay, Karen. Then they show Wendy and her family. They're coming over for dinner. You can tell that the mom went to a makeup artist before this dinner, so it makes it a little less authentic. She went to a makeup artist. Her makeup is professionally done because she knows she's on TV. Wendy's sister comes over. Wendy and her sister look very much alike. And they have the food. They have jollof rice. They have suya. Let me just tell you, Nigerian jollof may be good, but Liberian jollof is the winner, and that's coming from a Liberian. So their jollof rice may have looked good on TV, but try Liberian jollof, you won't go back. You will not go back, okay? And then Wendy's mom jokingly, or half jokingly, she could have been serious. She said she's getting implants. And they're going to pay for it. And if they don't pay for it, she's going to sue them. And that sounds just like an African mom. She's only halfway joking, y'all. She's basically putting it out there. You guys are going to get my body done. And Wendy, one thing about the Housewives franchise, if you are not there to make money, then there's no reason for you to be on TV. If you have a business, you have something that you want to explore, put it out there so people can get to know it. So that's what Wendy did. She said that she wants to do home essentials. So she brought a candle and showed it to her family. Her family was excited. She gave it her Nigerian name, her Nigerian middle name. So I thought that was good. You know, you have to make money on this show. All right, and so then Karen visits Ashley. Ashley has her baby down for a nap. Karen comes in to visit, and Ashley wants to know, Karen, what do you know that we don't know? Why were you telling Giselle her box is hot? She got a hot pocket. She's Sing Sing, a broken whore from Hampton University. So Ashley wants to know. So Karen kind of backed up and she said, oh, I just added Sing Sing because, you know, to be funny, to lighten the mood. And now I'm reading that people are saying that Giselle actually did a stint in a mental institution after her breakup with Jamal because it was so nasty. So if that is the case, then that's kind of not funny. And I think maybe that's why Karen kind of has retracted it and tried to make it like, oh, that was just a light joke. But if she was referring to that, then that's not funny. And I think that's why all the ladies are kind of surprised that Karen went that low. Karen has sent out her invitations. Giselle is not going. Giselle threw her invitation in the trash. She said that's where Karen belongs also. Then, of course, Robin is not going. She'll probably make up an excuse, but we know that she's not going because of how Karen treated Giselle at Wendy's dinner. Because, you know, Robin, if she's nothing, she's loyal to Giselle. That is her lapdog. Then Candace said she's going to go, but she needs Karen to acknowledge what she did to her, acknowledge what happened to her. I don't blame her for that. So Giselle is sitting down with her daughters, and basically the girls are telling her that she has horrible taste in men. She doesn't know how to break up with people. They're just, I like her daughters, especially the oldest daughter, Grace. She's so beautiful to me. She's so refined. She's such a, they seem like nice kids. So that was that. Really, there's nothing much to say. Let's talk about this party. So first of all, I think Ray is the type of older man that likes to be around a whole bunch of women. Not maybe the dirty old man, but he's always like the women are in the kitchen making the chefs are in the kitchen and he's in the kitchen with them. Karen catches him like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm cooking. Oh, I'm just playing. I'm not cooking. I said, look at Ray. He likes to be around the young girls. Okay. Mia and her husband come. His name is Gordon. I'm looking at my notes and he goes by G. According to Mia, Gordon has been married 3 times before her. So actually he's been married 4 times, including Mia. Wendy and her body show up looking good in that red dress. Wendy and Eddie. And then they were all sitting around and Karen said that everyone was invited. Giselle's not coming. And then Mia threw shade. She's like, well, yeah, it is a couples party. I said, okay, Mia, you've been watching this show. Good for you. Candace shows up. Her and Karen hug, embrace, and they both decided this is not the time to hash out anything. And I feel like Candace is very hurt and she just wants her pain to be acknowledged by Karen, which is a dangerous thing. Karen does not need to acknowledge or validate the fact that you were hurt in order for that to be real. Maybe she does if you want to continue to be friends with her. But if she doesn't acknowledge it, you can just redefine your friendship with Karen and just be someone who's just a cast member, not like an older mentor like you looked at her. And so they sit down and Wendy has a problem with Mia. I wish, as smart as Wendy is on paper, that she used her emotional intelligence. Maybe she's just doing this in order to have some kind of beef or to be exciting on the show, but it seems like the fight that she's picking with Mia is kind of silly. So they start talking. So Wendy wants to know, well, if you come to someone's house, someone brings you to someone's house and they're in a beef with someone else, why would you take the other side, take Giselle's side? And Ashley even asked, said, yeah, wouldn't you want to defer to the person who brought you instead of just taking Giselle's side? And Mia was like, well, I thought she had a good heart until I heard the comment about her saying that Ray would be 6 feet under. Then I kind of changed my mind. And well, Wendy said, well, even after that comment, you still asked her for her phone number. And then Mia said, well, I was trying to lighten the mood, something you should have been doing as the host. I said, okay, Mia. So then Wendy gets really mad and her anger does not match the situation. She was like, don't come for me because don't you come for me. I'm not coming for you. And I was like, why is Wendy, I feel like and everyone's just looking at the two of them. They obviously don't mix. There's something, I think Wendy seems to be a confident woman, but there's something about Mia that intimidates her, rubs her the wrong way, or maybe since she was a new girl last season, she feels like she has to be the one who hates the new girl this season. But I just don't think it's that serious, and I don't know if this drama is real or just to make sure that she has some kind of beef with somebody, because she can't argue with any of the other women. There's really not much to argue about. So I don't know. I'll just keep paying attention. So yeah, so Wendy's going back and forth with Mia. Mia said that, you know, Giselle wishing death on Ray made her reconsider the fact that she said Giselle had a good heart, blah, blah, blah. So then they start playing the newlywed game. The game was kind of fun. Ashley was the referee or the moderator. And the funniest part of that game was they said for the husbands to write down anyone in the friend circle they'd be attracted to. And I think Eddie wrote down Mia, and I could hear Wendy whispering. I could see Wendy whispering to him, you better, if that looks like Mia, you better erase it. And she put none, and he put NA, not applicable. And it, like, there's something about Mia that intimidates Wendy. Even jokingly, she doesn't want her husband to even admit that he's even somewhat attracted to Mia. But Ray ran ahead and put Mia down. So Ray is funny to me. He's very funny. He put Mia down. Another interesting thing we learned about the during the newlywed game was that Mia's husband met her at the strip club, and she was a bartender. Karen even said, I've seen her dance before, and I doubt that she was only bartending. So that's from her friend. So anyway, that is my review for this show. So what I want to see this season, I want to see Karen and Giselle talk it out to find out what the root of the problem is. I think that Giselle started throwing shots years ago, thinking it was cute and it was funny, but it hurts when it happens to you. I do want Candace and Karen to sit down. I do want Karen to acknowledge that Candace was assaulted and Wendy was her friend, so she was in a difficult position, and she is sorry that she straddled the fence. She should have told Monique at that time that she was wrong for putting her hands on Candace. There's nothing I want to see from Ashley right now. She's pregnant. She needs to have her baby. There's nothing I want to see from Ashley and Michael. I would like to see Juan treat Robin with some respect. And I would like for Giselle to admit that her relationship with Jamal was not real. And then we can put it to bed. And I would like for Mia to chill out a little bit, because I want to like her, but there is just something off with her. But anyway, that is my review. This is Joy from Sound Mind. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you later.